Welcome back, and thanks for joining us for episode 6 here at Tech Headlines Today. Go on ahead and subscribe or follow so you don't miss an episode. Don't forget, you can check out our show links if you want more info on a topic that's covered. Now let's get into it. Android 13, everything you need to know. While Android 12 is still only just making its way onto supported phones that don't have Pixel in their name, there are already hints relating to what we can expect from the next major release of Google's mobile OS, Android 13. If you're unaware, each iteration of Android, since version 1.5 at least, has come with a codename inspired by a sweet treat, with each subsequent release adopting a new name running in alphabetical order. For the letter T, Android 13 looks to be taking a trip to Italy, with the supposed codename being Tiramisu. An Android developer site has yet to make any formal announcements regarding the release of Android 13, however previous year's releases provide a framework to roughly follow. Android 13's first developer preview should be made available in February of 2022, the first public beta in May, and the first stable build in autumn. Every Google Pixel phone launch since the 2019 Pixel 4 series will receive Android 13 as an update. There are tons of new features such as lock screen clock placement, switching accounts from the lock screen, NFC payments for secondary users, and more, so check out our show links to see them for yourself. Self-charging hybrids outsell diesel in Europe for the first time. Self-charging hybrid cars, which operate on both internal combustion engine and a battery, outsold diesel cars in Europe for the first time in 2021, albeit by just 48 vehicles, data showed on Wednesday. Throughout the year, 1.9 million plug-in hybrid cars were registered in the European Union, a significant jump from the 1.1 million registered in 2020. In 2020, government subsidies for plug-in hybrid and battery electric vehicle sales quadrupled to over 1 million, with a rough even split between the two types. Petrol was the most common fuel type, but sales of petrol cars declined. How the conflict in Ukraine threatens U.S. cybersecurity. Russian troops stand poised to yet again invade Ukraine, and cyber attacks may be aimed at the U.S. in the coming weeks. Putin believes that the fall of the Soviet Union was a tragedy for the Russian people and is now trying to push back on perceived Western encroachment. Russia relies on disinformation campaigns to reassert itself on the global stage. They have contributed to the societal fractures in the United States, in keeping with standard Russian intelligence practices. Russian actors are deploying a blend of deception, kinetic action, and deniable influence operations to delegitimize basic democratic institutions. While the US, NATO, and other countries are debating what to do with Ukraine, Russia has been hacking the US critical infrastructure systems for some time, and may use them against us on a rainy day. Russia is aggressive, which could cause problems for the US and the world. Businesses should protect themselves by using multi-factor authentication, segmenting networks, maintaining backups, and gaming out crisis response plans. Starlink's new premium tier is fast, but super expensive. If you have $500 per month to spend on internet service, Starlink's premium tier can be yours in Q2. SpaceX is preparing to launch a new, quote, premium Starlink that'll boost download speeds up to 500 megabits per second. However, the satellite internet service won't be cheap. Elon Musk says the premium tier dish can offer higher performance thanks to a new high-performance antenna. The premium dish was designed for enterprise users and the wealthy, based in remote areas with slow broadband. It will offer a steadier internet connection and can hit speeds between 150 megabits and 500 megabits per second, depending on the weather. SpaceX is already taking pre-orders for the premium tier of its Starlink service, and the company plans to deliver the first units in the year's second quarter. A third of employees admit to exfiltrating data when leaving their job. Nearly one-third, 29%, of employees admitted to taking data with them when they leave their job, according to new research from Tessian. The most common reason for taking information from their new employer was to help them in their new job. Researchers found that 63% of marketing employees, 37% of HR employees, and 37% of IT employees took their data with them when they left their job. Josh Yaver, Chief Information Security Officer at Tessian, argued that organizations need to clarify expectations regarding data ownership and recognize where there might be a breakdown in communication. Security and business leaders should consider a more effective way of addressing insider risk, which involves defining and communicating data sharing expectations to employees. SAP sees rise in its fourth quarter revenue. IT budgets artificially boosted by the fall in employee travel and the need for work-from-home solutions during the pandemic are coming under pressure again as the world reopens, and SAP, which also owns online expense management service Concur, is seeing the shift in the numbers. SAP is optimistic about demand for its enterprise software and related services, and reported a 17% increase in cloud revenue to around 9.4 billion euros in 2021. SAP CEO Christian Klein said that its all-in-one cloud RISE offering has already had a positive effect on customer renewals. Anthony Lewandowski's latest moonshot is a peer-to-peer telecom network powered by cryptocurrency. A new mobile data network, accompanied by the quinfecta of a website, Medium post, white paper, dedicated subreddit, and Discord channel, quietly launched late Tuesday evening in San Francisco, promising a new way to exchange data anonymously and at high speeds without relying on legacy carriers and at a cheaper price. The peer-to-peer open-source wireless network called Pollen Mobile will incentivize its users with a cryptocurrency to run their own mini cell towers and build out the network's coverage in the Bay Area, where the service is initially launching. Anthony Lewandowski's autonomous vehicle technology startup Pronto AI is launching the project. Pronto needed reliable, affordable mobile connectivity for its autonomous vehicles and couldn't find it, so it built its own and realized it could be something others wanted. Pollen Mobile plans to create its own mobile network with radio towers, connectivity validation devices, and mobile phones, and call them flowers, bumblebees, and hummingbirds. We got to thinking about all the other things that people don't like about existing mobile companies. We saw an opportunity to build something truly revolutionary, something that tackles what we see as the four horsemen of mobile networks, the Medium blog post states. These four horsemen are a lack of privacy and anonymity, poor coverage, high costs, and no user voice. Operators pay the upfront cost for the physical data transmitter hardware, which costs from $1,000 to more than $10,000. Genetic engineering book plot ideas that turned out to be true. Before Frankenstein, no one could have imagined that genetic engineering could be a possibility. Now genetic engineering is one of the most formidable industries in human existence. Since 1973, genetic engineering has expanded rapidly. It's most commonly used in agriculture, medicine, and pharmaceuticals. Since the advent of genetic engineering, sci-fi has been addressing the ethics of this field and its potential worst-case scenarios. Science fiction is always light years ahead of real science. Scientists altered a cat's DNA to make it glow in the dark, and have since cloned dozens of animals in a similar manner. Genetically modified primates that glow in the dark could lead to the treatment of disease and illnesses in humans. Scientists have long advocated for human genetic engineering. However, the issue is different when discussing life-saving therapy. Human genetic engineering is slowly making its way into modern society for medical solutions. However, there are still concerns about the ethics of it. NordVPN's parent company is merging with VPN provider Surfshark. Two of the top VPN providers, NordVPN and Surfshark, are merging to form one company. NordVPN's parent company, Nord Security, announced the deal on Tuesday. The newly merged company is called Cyberspace, which has been registered in the Netherlands. In addition, Nord Security and Surfshark said the deal would open new technical knowledge-sharing opportunities and enable more focused market diversification. The founders said the deal would streamline resources toward common goals and preserve autonomy. Fake influencer flags hacking tactics. A Swiss secure storage company has launched a creative cybersecurity awareness campaign to show how hackers gather personal data from social media. In one post, the fake influencer revealed her date of birth. Other posts revealed her pet's name and favorite movie. A photo of a female influencer's desk revealed her password and credit card. Posting pictures of your birthday balloons could be giving away security information that allows hackers to access your accounts. Research performed by pCloud found that hackers are aware of the most common password themes and therefore recommend keeping personal information out of your passwords. Mozilla combines multi-account containers with its VPN service. A tab in England, a tab in France, even a tab in Canada perhaps. Mozilla has married two of its privacy-focused tools, multi-account containers and Mozilla VPN. The multi-account containers add-on for Firefox lets users keep cookies separate and save them in different tabs. Mozilla said it's adding an extra layer of privacy by offering a different VPN server for each container. Mozilla states, for example, you are traveling for work and using your computer to check your work email from Paris, France, but want to also check your personal banking accounts in New York City. That's where you can separate your work and personal finances, online activity with multi-account containers, plus the added privacy of the Mozilla VPN, and choosing from over 400 servers in 30 countries. For those who aren't yet ready for travel and are keeping in touch with family and friends through emails and video, you can set one of your containers to shopping and change the server to the nearest city of your loved one's home and check out local shops to have flowers or a meal delivered to their home for that special occasion or just to say hello. Alphabet eyes $2 trillion valuation after blowout results. Google parent company Alphabet Inc. advanced nearer to joining peers Apple and Microsoft in the elite $2 trillion market valuation club on Wednesday as the search giant's shares surged more than 8% following a blowout quarterly report. The technology sector started 2022 with questions, but the largest and highest quality U.S. tech names continued to deliver big earnings. Wall Street's most valuable companies have soared as the global pandemic led shifts in how people work and learn led to record quarterly sales. Alphabet also announced a 20-to-1 stock split, allowing shareholders to get 19 shares for every one held. NASA plans on crashing the International Space Station into the ocean. NASA wants to crash the International Space Station into the ocean, but not until 2031. NASA plans to retire the ISS in 2030, but only after it has made room for one or more commercially owned and operated low Earth orbit destinations. NASA wants to be one of the many customers of commercial LEO destination services, relying on CLDs and commercial crew and cargo transportation once the International Space Station retires. When they do eventually bring down the ISS, NASA says it will line up the final ground track and debris footprint over Point Nemo to avoid space debris. Get the most out of your data without the need for data engineers. Pecan AI, the leader in AI-based predictive analytics for business intelligence analysts and business users, today announced it had raised $66 million in a Series C round led by New York-based global private equity and venture capital firm Insight Partners. Most companies struggle to derive insights from the oceans of data they manage, so they hire data scientists to build models. Pecan is a low-code predictive analytics and data science platform that helps businesses predict mission-critical outcomes and enables them to boost customer acquisition, retention, and lifetime value, increase conversion rates, and optimize supply chains, pricing, and packaging. The company's exponential growth shows that there is a need for low-code predictive modeling for business insights. They have recently raised over $100 million to scale their global footprint and accelerate research and development. Orange County launches Cybercrime Initiative. Authorities in California's Orange County have launched a new initiative to help the public identify and report cyber threats. They have launched a campaign to help the public identify and report the cyber threats and encourage the public to report suspicious items and behavior. The Orange County Intelligence Assessment Center is a website where people can do just that. Early detection of cybercrime is crucial because it gives us the ability to disrupt bad actors and potentially freeze money as it moves through the financial system. Cyber is by far the up-and-coming crime and risk domestically, said the Orange County Sheriff Don Barnes. He added, crimes happening online are much more prevalent than they were just a decade ago, and criminals are finding new ways to create victims and ways to victimize people. Bipedal robot achieves better body balance. Researchers at Caltech have built a bipedal robot that combines walking with flying to create a new type of locomotion, making it exceptionally nimble and capable of complex movements. Part walking robot, part flying drone, the newly developed Leonardo, short for Legs Onboard Drone, or LEO for short, can walk a slackline, hop, and even ride a skateboard. Developed by a team at Caltech's Center for Autonomous Systems and Technologies, LEO is the first robot that uses multi-joint legs and propeller-based thrusters to achieve a fine degree of control over its balance. Bipedal robots use the same movements as humans to navigate terrain, but flying robots have their own set of limitations. LEO aims to bridge the gap between the two domains. LEO stands 2.5 feet tall and uses 4 propellers to walk and fly. It could change the position of its legs while using a synchronized walking and flying controller. In the real world, legged landing gear could help rotorcraft land on sloped or uneven terrains, thus reducing the risk of failure under challenging landing conditions. Tesla drivers complain of phantom braking. Phantom braking complaints surged in the last 3 months, the Washington Post reports. Tesla EVs may be coming off the production line fast, but recent reports suggest they're pumping the brakes when driving themselves on the highway. As the Washington Post reports, an increased number of Tesla owners are complaining about phantom braking, in which their cars slam on the brakes at random to avoid something that isn't actually there. Complaints submitted to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration include reports of Teslas slowing for oncoming trucks on 2-lane highways, and a 2022 Tesla Model Y suddenly slowing from 25 miles per hour to 15 miles per hour, seemingly to avoid hitting a plastic bag. Some drivers have reported phantom braking even when the autopilot is turned off. Insect-sized flying robots operate without motors and gears. A drive system for autonomous robots with flapping wings has been developed by University of Bristol team. The drive uses a method known as electromechanical zipping that does away with the need for conventional motors and gears. Researchers have developed a direct drive artificial muscle system called LAZA, which uses no rotating parts or gears and could be used to make micro-flying robots for environmental monitoring, search and rescue, and deployment in hazardous environments. LAZA simplifies the flapping mechanism, allowing its robots to be miniaturized down to the size of insects, and providing enough power to fly robots across a room. The team hopes that LAZA will be adopted as a fundamental building block for a range of autonomous insects, like flying robots for future applications. Professor Jonathan Rossiter added, "Making smaller and better performing flapping wing micro-robots is a huge challenge. LAZA is an important step towards autonomous flying robots that could be as small as insects and perform environmentally critical tasks such as plant pollination and exciting emerging roles such as finding people in a collapsed building." Startup emerges with a, quote, enterprise browser. A startup has emerged from stealth mode to announce what it describes as one of the world's first enterprise-specific browsers, capable of governing how users interact with all SaaS and web applications. The new Island web browser is based on the widely used Chromium open-source platform. Launched by a company with the same name, Island offers users a familiar online experience while governing what sites they can visit, the data they can view, and what files they can download or upload. Restrictions can be dialed up or down and can be specific to a user's role in an organization. The Island browser can block access to sensitive sites and stop employees from taking screenshots of sensitive data. And that concludes episode 6 of Tech Headlines Today. Thanks for joining us today, and go ahead and subscribe or follow if you haven't yet. It won't hurt, we promise. Check out the show links for additional details on the topics we shared, and we'll see you tomorrow.